Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today on conjunctions. This is the first slide, so I just want to briefly introduce what we'll be exploring. We'll look at how conjunctions help us connect ideas and make our sentences flow smoothly. Over the next few slides, we'll cover different types of conjunctions, their uses, and some helpful examples. Let's get started. All right, let's dive into slide 2. Here, we're looking at the reference list, which is essential for giving credit to sources and supporting our points. Moving on, we see the section on subordinating conjunctions. These are the words that connect a dependent clause to an independent one, like because, although, or since. They help us show relationships such as cause and effect or contrast. Next, we have the 3 types of conjunctions. First, coordinating conjunctions, which link equal parts of a sentence with words like and, but, and or. Then we have subordinating conjunctions, which we've just discussed, connecting clauses of different importance. Lastly, the correlative conjunctions are pairs like either, or not only, but also, which work together to join sentence parts. All of these play a crucial role in making our writing clear and cohesive, tying back to our overall theme of effective communication. A joiner or a conjunction is a word that connects parts of a sentence. It links words, clauses, or even entire sentences together. Think of it as the glue that holds different ideas or parts of your sentence in place. Without conjunctions, you'd have to express complex ideas in a series of short, simple sentences, which can make your writing or speech choppy and harder to follow. For example, instead of saying, "I like cooking," "I like eating." "I don't like washing dishes." A conjunction helps connect these ideas smoothly, making your communication clearer and more natural. This is a key concept because understanding conjunctions helps us craft more cohesive and sophisticated sentences, which ties into our overall goal of improving our language skills. Let's take a closer look at the 3 main types of conjunctions. First, we have correlative conjunctions, which work in pairs to connect equal parts of a sentence like either, or neither, nor. They help add balance and clarity. Next, there are subordinating conjunctions, and these are used to connect a dependent clause to an independent clause, such as because, although, or since. They introduce reasons, contrasts, or conditions, giving us more detail about the relationship between ideas. Lastly, we have coordinating conjunctions, which connect words, phrases, or independent clauses of equal importance, like and, but, or. These are probably the most familiar, as they help us join ideas smoothly and keep our sentences flowing naturally. Recognizing these 3 types of conjunctions is key to understanding how to craft clear, complex, and well-structured sentences, which ties back to our overall goal of effective communication. Let's talk about how we join words, phrases, and independent clauses in our sentences. When we connect 2 independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction, it's common to include a comma before the conjunction. This helps clarify the sentence structure and improves readability. Now, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions, which we often remember using the acronym FANBOYS. These are for and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Each of these plays a specific role in linking ideas, whether you're adding information, showing contrast, or indicating a result. Understanding these conjunctions is key to constructing clear, effective sentences that flow smoothly and connect your ideas logically, which is essential in delivering a compelling message throughout your presentation. Let's look at how we use these different words to connect ideas. First, nor is used when you want to offer a negative choice. For example, if I say, "I do not want popcorn nor pizza," I'm indicating that I don't want either option. It's a way to emphasize that both are off the table. Next, or is used when you're offering a choice between options. Like, "Do I want popcorn or pizza?" Here, you're presenting 2 alternatives and asking which one is preferred. Finally, but is used to connect ideas that are different or even contrasting. For instance, "I want popcorn, but not pizza." It shows a shift or a contrast between what I desire and what I don't want. Understanding these words helps us communicate choices, negatives, and contrasts clearly, which is essential when we're trying to express ourselves precisely and connect ideas smoothly. On this slide, we're exploring examples of coordinating conjunctions and how they connect ideas. First, notice the sentence, I study hard, for I want to succeed. The word for here links two related thoughts, my effort and my goal. It's a way to explain the reason behind my action. Next, look at, I do not miss classes, nor do I arrive late. Here, nor is used to add a second negative point, emphasizing what I avoid doing. Then we see, I must try harder or I will not succeed. Or presents a choice or consequence, highlighting the importance of effort. Finally, the sentence, I went to the store to buy eggs and milk for the cake recipe, shows how, and connects two items in a list. These conjunctions are essential because they help us combine ideas smoothly and clearly. Understanding how to use them effectively will improve both our writing and speaking, especially when expressing reasons, choices, or lists. They help create a flow that makes our communication more coherent and engaging. Now let's talk about subordinating conjunctions. These are words that introduce a dependent clause and show the relationship between that clause and the main, or independent, clause. Essentially, they help us understand how ideas connect and relate to each other within a sentence. There are more than 7 of these conjunctions, and some of the most common ones include when, while, although, since, as, because, before, if, whether, until, once, how, then, that, though, unless, after, provided, in order, as if, as long as though, even if, even though, if only, rather than, whenever, where, and whereas. These words are key to crafting complex sentences that add depth and clarity to our writing. Recognizing and using subordinating conjunctions correctly helps us show cause and effect, time relationships, contrast, and condition, which are all vital to effective communication. So, in the context of our overall presentation, understanding these conjunctions will improve how we structure our sentences and articulate nuanced ideas clearly and smoothly. Let's take a look at some examples of subordinating conjunctions in action. First, we have I will stay a little longer since I arrived late. Notice how since connects the reason for staying longer to the fact that I arrived late. It shows a cause and effect relationship. Next, he succeeds because he works hard. Here, because explains the reason for his success, linking the cause, working hard, to the result, succeeding. Moving on, they went out while she babysat. In this case, while indicates that two actions happened at the same time, it shows that going out and babysitting overlapped. Then, I must work harder if I want to pass. The word, if, introduces a condition. Working harder is necessary if I want to pass. Finally, she will call when she arrives. When connects the timing of her calling to her arrival, showing the sequence of events. These examples highlight how subordinating conjunctions add depth and clarity to our sentences by linking ideas, reasons, conditions, or times. Understanding how to use them effectively helps us communicate more precisely and connect our thoughts smoothly. Now, let's talk about correlative conjunctions. These are a special type of conjunction that work in pairs, meaning you use two words together to connect parts of a sentence. They always come in pairs, and both words work together to balance or compare words, phrases, or even entire clauses. Think of them as a team that helps you make your sentences clearer and more balanced. For example, you'll often see them joining elements that are grammatically equal, like two nouns, two adjectives, or two clauses. The key point here is that they always travel together. They're inseparable. Technically speaking, correlative conjunctions are made up of a coordinating conjunction, like both, and linked to an adjective or adverb. So, when you're using them, remember that they help establish a parallel structure and emphasize the relationship between the connected elements. Understanding correlative conjunctions is important because they add clarity and emphasis to your writing, making your sentences more cohesive and balanced. This concept ties back to the overall theme of mastering sentence structure for more effective communication. Let's take a closer look at some common comparison structures using pairs. First up, we have as, which is used to compare equality between two things. For example, she is as tall as her brother. It helps us highlight similarities. Next, there's cannot, but also, which emphasizes limitations while adding an additional point. For instance, I cannot attend the meeting but also need to prepare for the presentation. It shows a restriction but also highlights another action. Moving on, the number 6 here refers to either, or a classic way to present two options, like, you can either stay here or come with us. It clearly lays out alternatives. Number 4 is whether, or, which introduces two possibilities, often when you're unsure. For example, I'm not sure whether to call him or email him. It expresses uncertainty between choices. Number 2 is not, but, used to contrast two ideas, often correcting or emphasizing. For example, it's not a mistake but a misunderstanding. It clarifies or redefines a statement. Then there's neither, nor, which negates both options in a pair. Like, neither the manager nor the team was informed. It indicates that none of the options are true or applicable. Number 3, both, and, highlights that two things are true simultaneously. For example, she is both talented and hardworking. It emphasizes dual qualities. Finally, at the top, we see both. And again, reinforcing that these pairs are often used to express comparisons or choices in pairs. Throughout this slide, the key idea is understanding how these structures help us compare, contrast, or connect ideas clearly and effectively. Using these pairs correctly can make our communication more precise and engaging. They can not only speak Japanese fluently, but also read and write it quite well. This highlights their strong language skills and the importance of developing multiple language abilities. Next, I will mention what they plan to do during the summer. I will neither work nor study during the summer time. This shows a break or pause in their usual activities, perhaps for rest or travel. Then, we see the opposite case, where they will choose one activity over another. They will either work full-time or study full-time. This demonstrates the use of correlative conjunctions like either, or to present options clearly. Finally, I want to point out an exciting event happening tomorrow. Both the teacher and the student will be receiving a special award tomorrow. This underscores recognition and achievement, tying back to the overall theme of effort and success. Throughout this slide, we see how correlative conjunctions help us connect ideas smoothly and emphasize choices or comparisons effectively. Now, let's take a moment to look at the references that informed this presentation. First, we have Prokopitz's work from 2012, which offers a detailed overview of English grammar, focusing specifically on parts of speech and conjunctions. You can find her SlideShare online, and I encourage you to explore her insights for a deeper understanding. Next, there's Birch's 2010 presentation on conjunctions, highlighting their role in linking ideas and creating coherence in sentences. His work is also available on SlideShare and provides practical examples to help grasp how conjunctions function in everyday language. Ibanez's 2014 SlideShare complements this by delving into various types of conjunctions, emphasizing their importance in connecting clauses and phrases seamlessly. It's a valuable resource for seeing conjunctions in context. Then we have Nietzsche's 2011 PowerPoint, which offers a comprehensive overview of conjunctions, including their classification and usage tips. This resource helps reinforce the concepts we've discussed throughout the presentation. Finally, Aldrich's 2010 SlideShare provides additional explanations and examples of conjunctions, further solidifying your understanding of how they operate within sentences. All these sources collectively enhance our grasp of conjunctions, reinforcing their crucial role in constructing clear, coherent, and connected sentences. Remember, mastering conjunctions is key to improving both your writing and speaking skills, making your communication more fluid and effective.